Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another fun episode of SuperMods. As usual, I'm Superfly310, and today we're going to be seeing if we can fix this Sega Genesis that I have. I've had it for, more than a year. And it's never really worked perfect. I can get it on, I can get it playing games, but there's a lot of interference, and the power is very inconsistent, especially if you jiggle the cord around. You push it one way, it comes on, you let go, it turns off, that kind of thing. Now, with the Genesis, if you don't know, they can have some issues with their electrolytic capacitors. They start leaking. So that is a fix that I will probably need to be done sooner rather than later, and that actually is probably the reason for some of the video noise I'm getting. But the power issue itself is an issue with the jack, and we're going to see if we can fix that here today. So stay tuned, and I hope you enjoy this episode. So the first thing we're going to do is just do a basic troubleshoot. I'll show you what it's doing, and then we're going to go from there. So as you can see, I turn it on, and we'll get it up here in the corner. It works. However, that's because I pre-fiddled with the jack to make sure it's in the right position. If you see, if this moves at all, it freaks out. And if it's not in the right position, it won't even turn on. Yeah, so right there, it like freaks out. Yeah, it doesn't really want to work. So that's what we're dealing with. We're gonna take it up. We're gonna open it up. We're gonna take a look inside. Have a couple ideas of what could be wrong, but we might need to just replace the power jack. The first step, it's of course to disassemble the case of the Genesis. There are 4 screws on the back. Then you also need to remove this little expansion slot cover, and the top lifts right off. Next, we need to remove the Phillips screws holding the shielding in place. You finally lift this off, and the main board of the Genesis is revealed. There are 2 more screws that we need to remove through the cartridge slot, holding the board to the bottom of the case, and once those are removed, we are free and clear to start work on the Genesis. The shooting step I tried was just reflowing the solder connecting the jack to the board. I'm applying flux to the area to help encourage the old solder to flow together with the new. Next, I added some solder to the iron and applied heat to the pad to melt the existing solder before adding new solder as well. Then I used some isopropyl alcohol and a toothbrush to clean the remaining flux off the board. As I was cleaning the area around the power jack, I noticed a strange sticky residue covering much of the board. Thinking this might also be part of the issue, I got started cleaning it up. I made the mistake here of trying to use a paper towel to help wipe up the residue. It worked in the end, but it definitely added some extra work. The paper towel tended to get caught on the pins and tear, leaving paper fibers behind on the board. All right, so let's get this. Let's test this baby. I reflowed the solder on the power jack. It's much more stable now. It's not wiggly, so we'll see if that fixes that problem. But I also found this weird sticky substance on the bottom of the board. At first I thought maybe a capacitor somewhere was leaking, but none of these are not a capacitor. Yes, a capacitor. I can't think tonight. But anyway, I thought maybe it was leaking. That happens. This board definitely needs to be recapped at some point. However, after close inspection, I don't see any evidence of that. These caps are actually in pretty good shape. It is a Model 2 Genesis. So the caps are in pretty good shape. And so I don't understand really what happened. I don't know what it was. It's just on the bottom. It wasn't on the top. But anyway, I will now... we're going to test this baby, okay? Alright. Here's the moment of truth. We have the motherboard of the Genesis sitting in the bottom of its shell. We have power plugged in. I did notice the jack has less give to it. We have the AV cables hooked up. We have Sonic the Hedgehog in the cartridge slot. Fingers crossed. Here we go. Okay, we got sound. Alright. So it's working. Let's just play some. Okay, so yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog's working. Looks like the game's working. Let's go ahead and reset. Okay, it's still working. Now, the moment of truth. It did work before. It was just temperamental because the power jack was weird. Let's go ahead and test it. Alright, twisting. Nothing. Rotating it around. Nothing. I think we did it, fellas! We fixed it. I am so excited. If you watched the last video, the last hardware fix that I tried to record did not go as planned. Twitch's Hall's controller was worse off than I started with it. She wasn't upset, it was broken anyway, but still, I was upset because I should have been able to fix it, I just was rushing doing it. But this time, it's working, I have it recorded. I've fixed stuff before just fine, but for some reason recording it makes it hard to focus. And I think that was the problem, and has been the problem with some of my other projects, especially the Game Boy Pocket one. I was rushing, trying to get the backing off the screen, broke it. Was rushing to try and get the analog stick out of Twitch's Hall's controller, broke it. And in an upcoming video, I was rushing, putting the finishing touches on the mod, and I broke it. You'll have to see when that comes. It's exciting. I have a replacement part ordered. Hopefully it arrives soon. But hey, this is working. I am so excited. Awesome. I'll throw on the end of the video a little time lapse of me putting it back together. But other than that, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. So thank you very much for watching. I hope to keep doing videos like this. I have a couple other projects in the works. I'd like to say thank you to my wife, my wonderful wife, for the new soldering iron. She got me one of the Hacko soldering stations. I am excited. It's awesome. It's way better than my wall plug-in, direct plug-in iron that I had before. This thing is beautiful. It was an early Father's Day gift. I guess it technically wasn't from my wife. It was from the Microfly. But hey, thank you to both of you. It hits the spot. Anyway, I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. And I will see you next time. Peace out.